Hello everyone,
Hello,
welcome,
everyone.
to the Redmen TV. Jinx.
No, we didn't say it at the same time. We were slightly out of sync. I was a little bit disappointed. Otherwise, I can respect the Jinx.
We're here again. Well, Chris is here again.
Yeah, and Tom as well, to be fair.
And Tom as well, yeah, whatever. Sorry, Tom, that was just uncalled for. Absolutely good. He does a lot of very hard work for us, Tom. Lots and lots. Right, so yeah, you'll have seen the title, you'll have seen the absolutely abysmal thumbnail that Tom's done. It'll be updated afterwards to what I asked him to do. But anyway, look, Liverpool, we're less than 2 hours away from the allotted kickoff time. We've got some updates. This is kind of an ongoing thing. Well, I'm going to take you back because obviously the news came out about half an hour ago that Liverpool's coach had been blocked in by Manchester United fans. We've got some pictures and stuff for you guys to have a look at. So this comes from at United Report on Twitter. Cars have blocked Liverpool's coach from arriving at Old Trafford. It gets better. Dan Taylor of The Athletic is on the scene. He put this photo up, which is great. And then there was another one. No, he was saying there was another bus at the team hotel, but this is the official one, and the tyres have been let down. Great, and what you can see here, absolute textbook shithousery. Is I think that's a woman, and what she's done is she's put the bonnet up and the boot up, which makes it seem like the car's exploded or something like that. So there's obviously no way it can move because both the bonnet and the boot's up. I think that's textbook Hollywood. It's mad though because
it's a load of shit. It's like I once got done by a policeman for speeding when they had the bonnet up so you couldn't see the fucking the fluorescent stuff on the front, which I'm sure was illegal, but you don't challenge the police on speeding fines because I was going 30 mile an hour over the speed limit and they were ultimately right. But like it's like something out of GTA with worse cars.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We've got a couple more. This was 6 p.m.
Look at these scenes. Are they live?
Yeah. So Sky Sports News have got it. This was 20 minutes ago at Old Trafford. Man United fans starting to gather outside the ground, and what you can see, of course, on these videos, actually Sky Sports are putting some new footage out now. The barricades are in place. There's lots and lots of police, but they're not at the ground. But actually, you can see it that they've on Sky Sports right now. They're showing that it looks like they've broken down through the barrier. There's a lot of
fists getting waved,
fists and pointing and
flares getting fired,
being thrown.
And barriers getting pushed around as well.
So it does look like the barriers are starting to be pushed a little bit, which is obviously a little bit of a concern for getting people into the game. Right, let's have a little look. So Dan Taylor updated further from this. Police are clearing the road. This is 26 minutes ago. About 50 or so fans dotted around, but police have moved cars out the way. Hopefully they've got a pump. Still not sure it's the right bus. And then it says this was 16 minutes ago. Says we are on the move, including unexpected poodle photobomb, which is literally if you want some hot dog content. Which is a very specific and niche thing. Not really. There you go, right there. Poodle in a basket.
See, there was me getting excited for an actual hot dog then.
And the Liverpool bus on the way as well. So obviously we can see the tyre situation now. But there's been speculation about whether that was a decoy bus or not. Obviously Dan Taylor referenced there being another one at the team hotel. There's been a lot of talk about that kind of stuff.
Go to your WhatsApp from Ross and open it up from Chris Slater.
Yeah.
Because on his second tweet down, you'll see he mentions that.
Yeah, so he says Liverpool team coach was blocked on a side just outside Manchester City Centre a short time ago. This is the club's official coach emblazoned with the club's badge, but we understand this isn't the coach being used to ferry the players to Old Trafford tonight.
Now this reminds me of when I did jury duty.
Okay. And
we had to, the family weren't happy with our decision that we made, and they came and fronted us at the front door. And what we ended up having to do was go underground outside the courts as a jury, all 12 of us, and get let out on a back street and run away. And this is literally like it was crazy. It's a long story. I'll go into it another time and not on air. But yeah, this is kind of what this is now, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It's like fake coaches going around and about place. They're probably already in the ground.
Well, they tried this, didn't they? With they
should have been already in the ground, by the way.
Well, no, exactly, and that's mad because they did this with I think Arsenal, wasn't it, when they went around the Super League stuff, and they just put them in. They got them in there at like midday before it all kicked off. So the players they should have been that. They should have just said, right, you get in at lunchtime. You can train on the pitch if you want, or
we'll
do
cook
whatever.
You a meal.
Yeah.
Use your own chefs.
Yeah. Something like that. The fact that they've left it to this is absolutely mad. And
of course, because it's an 8:15 kick-off, if for some reason it's delayed, it's off. And then at that point, we should be getting the points.
Well, it's an interesting point, actually, which I think is definitely worth a conversation. We had a super chat from Connor M, who says, if the match is cancelled, can we have some Pajak ASMR? Now, no, obviously. But yeah, partly that's a thing. Yeah, whatever. I think anything goes at this point. I don't really know what's going to happen. It does look like it stands to reason that the game will go ahead. But again, it comes back to this notion, Chris. It's Sky that Sky have done this. Because, and I know they're like, there's obviously mitigating circumstances. So like Man United only playing 2 days ago, and they couldn't really have like put the game as like a midday kickoff or whatever, because it's even less preparation time for them in all of this, of course. But there's a weird precedent been set. It was a good point on the Red News Roundup show this week. Dan Kennett made it. He's like, the problem with it now is that if a fans ever get a game stopped again, you've got no choice but to put it back in the fixture schedule. The rules that you can give a point deduction or whatever for it have gone because they've made this, and the reason they've made this is because Sky have got it as their showpiece fixture, and they want the game on for all the reasons that they can suck up all the money on it and stuff like that. This is a game that they should have.
You get into bed with TV broadcasters, like clubs know this already. They've had to give them money back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they understand this, and they probably don't want to be in a position where they have to give money back anymore, do they? You know what I mean? So they understand that, and it's unfortunate because on one hand, it does fuel the game in England, the broadcast revenues. Absolutely. Sky and BT are a huge part of what they are.
Well, have you seen the state of the stuff today?
Well, yeah, it's a joke, mate. Yeah. But you've got to accept it. That's part and parcel of dealing with the devil almost, isn't it? You know, you can't accept their millions and millions and not want them to have an opinion on stuff like the biggest game in English football going ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because they've had views twice out of this.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone was sat there watching it the whole night.
Yeah.
The last Sunday that we went to play them, and we'll be doing the same today. And maybe another time as well. It's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is.
And again, I'm all for Man United fans standing up for themselves. Absolutely. In this regard.
I'm not blaming Man United fans. It's stupid because, their ownership situations. I think you've got two big things going on at the moment. You've got the battle for the soul of footy and all that kind of stuff, and then you've also got clubs having individual conversations and battles with their owners. If they that's what they're ready to do, cool. I'm cool with that. And they're at that position where they've got to weaponise to be able to take action. So I'm forgiving of it all, but also there's going to come a point where, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I just want to watch a game of footy, And for me, this was so blindingly obvious. And look, as we know right now, no confirmation on anything more. There's more footage on Sky now of like lots and lots of mass people and smoke bombs and flares and what have you at the ground. They'll continue to have their voices known, and there'll be a touch point, I reckon, in the next hour where they have to make a decision to sort of shit or get off the pot of whether they push on or whether they decide we've made our voices heard on this particular occasion, we're going to get off. But these have been getting planned all week.
Yeah.
We all knew this was happening.
Yeah.
And obviously they've put barricades up and they've got far greater police presence and all that kind of stuff. But it's mad if for any reason this game gets stopped because of protests. And I've got no problem in a general top line sense with fans protesting and all that. That's cool, man. Do it. Make your voices be heard. I'm all for that. But it's mad that if that arises, because they could have just played this today, at some point, or play it at a random venue. You know what I mean? Do something different with it, or play, not televise it or whatever. But Sky, give it the fucking attention and all that.
No, that's it, Paul. But it's just annoying from our point of view because we are the biggest team in England, and so they've done it on the biggest game in England, and I can understand that. And so people might say, look, point at other games that they've had in the Roma game and all that type of stuff, and go, well, why not? Well, this is the biggest game in football. That's why they've chosen to do it twice against Liverpool. It's annoying from our perspective, but I understand the reasons that they've done against Liverpool. Now, I don't know whether the tyres were slashed, but I'd read that
they've not been slashed. They've been let down, and there's a photo of it.
There's a difference there. Then that's not a bad. Slashing the tyres is really bad. Letting the tyres down, still not great. I mean, they could have stopped Man United team getting into the ground.
Yeah.
The ones that the owners are paying their wages of and all that type of stuff. The fact that they're attacking the Liverpool bus, wrong word. The fact that they are using the Liverpool bus to their advantage is not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just part of the whole thing, isn't it? Again, it's all part of the tactics. And again, by all accounts, with Liverpool, the talk is that Liverpool not using the official bus.
They didn't know that.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. But it's all part of the same. It's all part of the same thing. That's why they're having the decoy things, isn't it? But the problem with this, of course, is that we're into this world now. Like Jurgen Klopp was very keen to kind of stress, wasn't he, the week about like it's not us, it's not the players. We're nothing to do with this. We just play footy for your football club effectively. But United have crossed over now into that thing where they're disrupting all those things. It's got nothing to do with if it's got nothing to do with the United players, it's got nothing to do with the Liverpool players. And the idea that, like, I'm not being funny, whether look, that there's no hint that there was any violence involved in any of that. So, like, nothing at all. So it's just a bit of like a misdemeanor. You know what I mean? I get what they're trying to do, but if you're on that coach, you don't know that. And again, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people for whom was talking about players being sat on opposition coaches. Yeah, falling on deaf ears. But again, it is that thing, isn't it? It's
but the thing.
It's not like they're giving us a hostile atmosphere.
No. Look,
which is.
Yeah, well, look, here's the thing for me, right? Is I say I'm cool with Man United fans protesting for something that they believe in, and I think they're right to as well. To be honest with you, but like if it was me, I'd want to protest it in every game.
Yeah.
Not just the two big ones or a big game, like, because you could have protested at Redmen, you could protest next week, and will they? That's the thing. And if they don't, then there will be people going, well, is this a Liverpool thing?
Yeah, it's interesting. Steve Hanglaras with the super chat, $10. Thank you, Steve. Says, what's up, lads? Diehard Red from New York City. Love your reporting. Can't wait to get to Anfield next year, mate.
Thank you.
Mate, I can't wait for this all to not be a thing anymore, to be perfectly honest.
It's been a long time since you've been in Anfield, hasn't it?
It hasn't, it just. Craig Tebb says, rumour has it both teams got to the ground at 2 p.m. Ooh, that's interesting. We'll see I'll get a little update and see what's happening with stuff. Let me just see. Joe Lyons on Twitter has just been put to me. I'll just have a quick look at this. Joe Lyons journo saying, getting a bit ugly at Old Trafford. A group of fans just forcibly pushed over a cameraman and grabbed his equipment. The flares are out. I mean, look, we need to be careful with all of this. We'll show you the photos. I mean, again, I don't know whether Joe Lyons is a particularly, well, he's from Stretty News, who I have an opinion on, but I won't give it. So I don't really know whether how legitimate that is. Senses, so I don't want to fall to sensationalism on stuff, of course. But yeah, I mean, we can see it. Sky Sports News have just had the footage up there of the people protesting the smoke bombs and singing songs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
there's a video there from Capital News Liverpool there, Paul, and from what it looks like there, it's peaceful.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna look and feel a bit hairy because
it's supposed to.
Yeah, because it's a bunch of youths with masks on the face and hoods up, who we're all trained to be terrified of, and rightly so, with smoke bombs and being close in face and all. Like, there will be an air of aggression in there, of course there will, but as you say, that video from Capital News,
the police aren't like moving or anything.
Yeah, exactly. They've got riot police out or anything.
They're not even braced for anything. Yeah. They've sensed the mood, haven't they? Like,
it's an interesting point. In fact, we're seeing a few people saying, I mean, I haven't got the confirmation in front of me, but people saying United got there at 2 p.m. No confirmation on Liverpool. Yeah, and to our point, I hope that's the case. I hope both teams are in there, and this is all just, they've kind of missed the boat on it, because it's daft. Because that's my point on this. It's stupid. You've set the kick-off time at the latest possible time you can, and then you've seen adverts amongst the Man United fans for 4 days or more that they were going to be doing this. Like, if you've allowed that, if you've not taken measures against that, it would have been beyond stupid. But yeah, fingers crossed. If the Man United ones are in there, then hopefully the Liverpool team are as well, and that will certainly mean that we're more likely to get the game going ahead, of course. But yeah, not too much more information at the moment. When we do know more, we will have it. We will. I guess we'll be back. There's not too much more happening at the moment. As it stands, the game is going to go ahead. Liverpool at Old Trafford. Of course, we'll see if anything more breaks from that. When we do know more, we'll bring it to you. Stay tuned to at the Redmen TV on Twitter for more in the meantime. But we'll be back what time are we now?
45
About
minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah, we'll be back with the team news reaction. Hopefully, this time it'll be a team news reaction leading to a game of football.
With a team.
With a team.
That plays.
Yeah.
Did you stick with the same team that Klopp picked last time out? Because that's the rules. That is the team against Manchester United. No exceptions. Injuries don't count.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, it means no. We were only playing with 10 men because Kabak's out. We've got footage here. That looks like the Man United players arriving. So presumably that must have been from earlier on in the day, because it's Okay, cool. Well, that bodes well in terms of the game being played. Whether that's a good thing or not, we'll know whether Liverpool win or not. But yeah, we'll find out in due course. Do check back with us. Click the notification bell when you subscribe to the channel to be notified when we go live. But we'll be going live.
Do you know what would be really nice, Paul? If the United players showed solidarity with their manager and just stood still like a player too that hasn't picked up his pad and let us score loads of goals, and they showed solidarity with the fans against their owners.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah. I was really secretly hoping that this game was going to get called off and they just give us the 3 points, to be honest. I was saying to you before, the narrative of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer throwing away the last chance of the title to put a week inside out so he could go full strength tonight, only to have the fans get the game called off.
Would have been good.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to beat them the old-fashioned way, and it is very, very old-fashioned because it's been a long time since we beat them at Old Trafford. But anyway, thank you. We'll be back, 7:15. Check back on the channel. Keep abreast of everything at the Redmen TV on Twitter, and don't forget to get your Redmen picks in. We'll do more on that on the next show. But yes, can't wait to see you all soon. Ta-ra.